COVID was too much to take, because when that came in, and it came in from China, it came in from the Wuhan labs, now everyone agrees.
You and I knew it back then when Rick Grinnell and I briefed you.
That's right, Rick was great.
And you shut down travel from China right after the briefing that Rick and I gave you when we were running the Intel community. And that was the right move.
And people didn't want it done.
And now they still have, 2 years later, the rest of the world has travel bans in place.
That's
What
right.
do you say to them about all these travel bans and everything that they're still doing?
Well,
now?
I say this. I say China got away with something that's absolutely terrible. One of the worst things ever to happen to the world, maybe the worst thing, because the whole world has been so affected by the China virus. The world has been affected. But I had a great relationship with China up until that point. At that point, it was too much. How do you have a great relationship when you have millions of people all over the world dying?
Oh, yeah.
And now Biden gets in. He does such a horrible job with the COVID. It's like they don't know what the hell they're doing. And he came in, I'm going to solve COVID. They had more in his year, and that's after all of everything that we have. We developed therapeutics, vaccines, everything, with all of the stuff they have, all of the knowledge that we learned, all of the gear that we bought, you know, with the ventilators and with the outfits and the masks, the goggles. We stocked up the whole country. We did a great job. I got very little credit for doing, that was an incredible job. All the cupboards were bare. The states were bare. The United States government, our cupboards were empty. They were all empty.
You've stocked
and
them.
we stocked them up. And Biden comes in, and they didn't know what they were doing.
And now we got tests coming in that are made in China.
Yeah, we have tests coming in made in China that don't work. They didn't have any tests. For the new variant that came in, they are so unprepared. It's been terrible.
So what do you tell the American public who are now sick and tired of being locked up for 2 years, who know your administration did all that successful stuff? What do you tell America now saying going forward? What do we do?
You have to end the mandates. The mandates are horrible, and they have to be ended, and they shouldn't have started. Initially, I closed it to China, but I let the governors make the decision on what they're going to do. You know, not every state closed. Some did, some didn't. Some absolutely remained open. You know the ones, and I know the ones. But I said, you make your own decision from a state standpoint. It was really the right thing to do. The Democrats went crazy, and they just closed everything. New York, I don't know if it's ever going to be the same what they did in New York.
Our home.
You know, it's so sad what happened in New York. You look at what happened. But some of these states were what happened in Los Angeles, what happened in parts of California. But a lot of Republicans did a very, just a great job in terms of that. But, you know, I didn't close anything. I let the governors make that decision.
So I think that's a distinction that's lost on a lot of people, Mr. President.
I think so. They think I closed. No, I didn't.
You respected the states' rights, powers, and was that
Federalist. No,
yeah.
I said to the governors, you do what you have to do. But I did close our country to China and saved hundreds of thousands of lives. And I closed it to Europe, too, when I saw what was happening in Italy, France, and Spain. And then if you look at, you know, virtually every country, I mean, it got to a point, and I closed it very early, a little bit after China, but we closed it to Europe. And those two closures, Europe and China, they saved hundreds of thousands of lives.
And so now you would, you know, now we're past it, you would tell the American people now,
get on with your life.
Move on, right?
Now I say, and you know, the whole concept of children, with the children going through all of this, masks and vaccinated, what they're doing is just absolutely crazy. They say they do it because they're on a power trip. It's hard to believe. Why? What's the power trip? I don't get it, but it's just wrong what they're doing.